Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Brian, and today I'm talking Love Island Australia Season 5, Episode 25. All right, so we pick right back up after the heart rate challenge where the guys were doing a little bit of a striptease for the girls. Andy and Nakia talk, and he's like, "Hey, did you notice I was giving you a little extra attention?" She's like, so what? Like you should have been giving me attention the entire time. Makes a comment about like I was thinking about sleeping out in the day beds tonight, but I don't want to be petty. And Nakia has like a couple funny confessionals like why do you try to people please so much? Why are you doing all these things for Harmony? You barely even know her. Harmony tells Nate, like, while this conversation is happening, like, hey, all I want to do is just have some fun and cuddle with him. And he just doesn't know what he wants. And that's a little bit of a foreshadowing for later in this episode. Tyra and Kale have the exclusive chat, and they kind of just are under the assumption, like, hey, this is how things are going to go. So they didn't really technically declare that they're going to be exclusive like right now at this point, but they are talking about like when they're outside of the villa. So I guess good for them. They've been a pretty strong couple since they've Kale's come back in the villa. So happy to see that. Like them a lot. He the next morning he does like a little bit of a date for her, and it's like not almost like not a picnic, but like just like chocolate and or not raspberry strawberries. And she's like, I don't really even like strawberries. So that's just another thing. Like, and it shows up later that they don't really like trying to figure out like what they talk about because they don't really know that many things about each other. And that kind of where we get a text that there's going to be the flush challenge. And essentially, the point of the challenge is you're with your couple. Nakia is the host, and she's solo. And Nakia will ask you questions about your significant other, and you have to answer the questions whether A or B with the choice selection. And if you're correct, you get a bell ding, and if you're wrong, toilet flushes, and then some like water dumps on your head. So, and the reason I said about the foreshadowing is couple of the notes. Kale and Tyra don't get a single thing right. They only showed two questions each, so I wonder if there's a little more that we don't see in this challenge because if they're going to set these things up, I can't imagine that it's going to be just two questions per person and then out. But they don't show any all the televised stuff for them. No questions right. Harmon and Andy get every single question right. So he made a couple jokes before the challenge, like I don't know anything about her. Clearly, he does. He says he has a great memory, and that's why he remembers everything. So I guess all these things were in passing. Um, Another one significant. Chloe is asked how many threesomes has Reed had. Is it over more than five, less than five? She picks less. It is more. So later in the episode, she asks him like, "Hey, what were these threesomes about? Were you with somebody? Like, were you dating someone? And or, like, is that something you're into when you're in a committed relationship? Like, you want to have threesomes?" He says no. Starts rattling off in a confessional where they were. Reed is just he's an interesting dude. He's a super, super interesting, strange dude. Andy, after this challenge, is let's say completely unsure about what he's gonna do. He's like going back and forth. Um, they get a text that time to meet around the fire pit. Sophie shows up to the fire pit and she's like, "It is now the loved up era." And this is the final recoupling. So if anybody is single at the end of this recoupling, you are immediately dumped from the island. The guys will choose since they have a numbers advantage. And a lot of these are pretty much chalk. Nate chooses Georgia. Clint chooses Savannah. Zach chooses Lucinda. Reed chooses Chloe. And Kale chooses Tyra. So that obviously, of course, Andy's the last dude. Andy gives a little bit of speech, and he is deciding that he doesn't want to put anybody in harm's way, hurt anybody's feelings, lead them on, and he decides to not couple up with either Harmony or Nakia. So that means that all three of them are now done from the island. So, and they said that was a first in Love Island. Also, I think it's Love Island Australia history, because we definitely saw that in the USA. I think when I don't remember her name, but didn't want to couple up with Bergie. So do we get a preview for next week? And before I get to the preview, there's four couples. There's one, two, three, five couples left. I don't want this to go into next week. I really don't want to have five more episodes of the show. I just think it's way too much for what's going on. I mean, if you disagree, let me know. But I can't see 5 more hours of the show. Like you only have to get to four, so there's only really one more elimination, and I think that's what it's going to be, man. Guys, I just they still have to do they have to still do the date episode for all of them. So that's one. Tomorrow's episode is not eliminating somebody to four. So unless I'm completely wrong, but like you still have to have the finale too. So that's at least 3 episodes. They're gonna. I just can't see that. I don't know what it's. I guess maybe family. They're gonna do a whole episode on family. Just super super disheartening if that's the case. I really don't want it to be like that. It's not that I don't like the show. I think it's completely unnecessary. But preview for tomorrow. We have egg babies, so they're gonna be doing like pretty much the baby challenge, but with an egg, and a psychic shows up. So interested to see what these people believe that the psychic's gonna spit out to them. So it should be for some interesting, probably kind of BS drama, but we will see. Thanks for watching. We just will. The only thing we got going on today and tomorrow before we get back to Wednesday and Thursday are busy nights is Surviving Barstool episode 7. So that show is wrapping up on Wednesday as well. That show's out wrapping up this Wednesday, just like this Love Island should. So thanks for watching. Check out any of our other content. We have so many videos, and like I always say, if you have any comments about potential shows that you like that we don't cover, definitely drop it in the comment section. I will give it a shot for sure. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.